So bear with me. We have 66 slides. It's quite long. All right. So for presentation, if you if you ask me what to wear for your assignment, okay, especially for your assignment, I would say that you should follow whatever content you have or whatever situation you have, because basically in outside world, normally if they don't tell you what to wear, then you need to suit yourself with the content. Okay, so you need to know who are you going to present to, who are you going to talk to, who's your audience, what is the time, what is the situation, are you presenting about something related to sports or leisure time or about something academic. So you need to suit your attire with the content. So let's say for this assignment, you present about healthy lifestyle and you want to appear as someone who practice healthy lifestyle, then you can always wear sports attire. But if you feel like you want to be or you want to look more professional, then you can wear formal attire. Okay, so it's up to you and the content. But please make sure you and your friends, your group members, okay, wear the same type of attire lah. Okay, don't mix up lah. Um, for ladies, okay, because we are having online presentation, so most probably I won't be seeing you in full. Okay, so I'm going to see you your top part only. But if you have uh, offline presentation where the people can see you in full, okay, avoid wearing skirts that is above your knee. Okay, for ladies. Um, if you wanna wear skirts, then wear knee length. Okay, cover your knee, or just wear a long skirt. Um, and avoid wearing shorts. Okay, wearing shorts and jeans. Okay. Mm, slacks or khakis is okay if you want to appear casual. Okay. Right. So actually, presentation is not restricted or limited to how we see presentation to now. Okay, for maybe now you are seeing presentation as, oh, for assignment presentation in groups, where you talk to people in class. Okay, actually, when you talk to your friends, okay, you communicate with the friends, you communicate your ideas to your friends or to strangers or to your supervisors. That is also a presentation. One-to-one communication is also presentation. Okay, so you are it when presentation is actually you speak in various situation. You speak out your mind, you speak out your opinion, you let them know when you give answers to maybe, for example, to the lecturer or to the tutor in class. You are also doing a presentation, maybe a short time presentation, 5 minutes, 2 minutes. You are presenting your ideas. Okay. um, Presentation is something, a situation that requires you to uh, deliver the message to the listener. Okay, so when you want to deliver the message to the listener, it often contains a persuasive element, right? Persuasive element because you wanna deliver it. You want them to accept your idea. So you include persuasive elements. meaning you give more just as facts. Okay. It is. All right. So in presentation, before we conduct our presentation, to so we need to prepare. So we have these three W: what to prepare, what to wear, what to do, and you need to prepare your expectation. Okay, and you need to prepare yourself by knowing why you need to present. Are you presenting because you are forced to present? You need to get marks for it, or you just simply want to inform, persuade? Okay, so you must know your um, your reason, right? So what to wear is your attire. So I told you just now, your attire depends on your situation, depends on your topic and content. So you just need to suit it with the situation lah. Okay. Okay, sorry. Can you guys listen to me now?
Yes, yes.
Right. So just now, we have what to prepare. So you have to prepare yourself, your attire, okay, according to your situation. I rasa my Gmail ada problem lah. Sekejap eh. I'm not sure. Hmm. I am moving. Uh, okay. I tak tahu. Chrome I macam stuck. I minimize my PowerPoint, but can you see it in full?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see.
So I minimize uh the window. I don't know. Okay. Okay. So after you prepare your attire, then you need to uh after preparing your attire, okay. You also need to think about the content lah, the organization of the content. But first we go to this. Uh, First kita tengok ni. Okay. So, normally you will hear people saying, you need to wear formal, you need to wear formal, you need to wear formal kind. And the formal that they portray is this one, right? The black one. Okay. Actually, in the real dress code, okay, the black one that you see in this screen is not actually a formal, a full formal. Okay. It's a semi-formal. Okay, but we just call it formal lah because the full formal attire is actually something like this one, white tie. So white tie attire with the tuxedo, ada yang jack, tail jacket tu. Okay, that one is full formal, but most of us don't have that attire. Okay, so I think because of that, um, dia jadi like the semi formal becomes formal. Okay, so later if you're going outside your working environment couple and they ask you to wear formal, if you don't really confirm, you ask lah, okay, what type of formal that they want. Okay, but for this assignment we just, if you wish to wear formal, we just keep to this semi formal business lah, yang the suit, black suit with tie, okay, with shirt, that one. Okay, but we call it formal. I rasa because of we don't have the full attire, then we tend to call this business or semi formal as formal. Okay, make sure if you choose to wear this type of attire, then you wear it full, in full meaning with complete set lah. Okay, the suit jacket, the pants, and then leather shoes, and then white shirt or light colored shirt. Okay, if you intend to wear business casual, then choose a full business casual. Okay, from top to toe. Okay, don't mix up. Uh, if you choose to wear casual or smart casual, then wear it in full. Okay, smart casual is how um smart casual falls under this one, the casual, but we also always call them smart casual. Okay, with slack and t-shirt, collared t-shirt. Okay, with not sneakers but leather shoes also. um if you wanna uh, wear sneakers, make sure the event allows you to wear sneakers. Okay, so you have to look at this event and situation first also lah. Ultra casual, I don't think for the assignment ultra casual and sloppy is suitable because you are going to present something academic. Okay, so just stick to casual or business or semi-formal, this one. And if it is related to sports, then you can wear sportswear. Right? For ladies, okay, these are some of the examples. You can wear this suit like like the gents, okay, or you can pair it with skirts, okay. So for ladies, you have more options for attire because you can always wear your baju kurung, your baju kebarung, okay. But jubah is not advisable because jubah Jubah doesn't fall under our traditional clothes. Okay, so if you want to wear jubah, make sure the event organizer allows you to wear jubah. Okay, um, if it is for apa ni, religious religious event, then maybe okay lah. But then if for academic, for professional, then baju kurung is the safest attire, and also this suit type. Okay, the jacket, the shirt, the slack. Okay, for ladies, your option of shoes also is very wide. You have a very wide option. Okay, various option. You can wear heels. You can wear open toe, closed toe. Okay, maybe 3 inch, 2 inch. Okay, but not too high lah. The high heels too. Um, you can wear but then you couldn't afford to wear. You must not afford to wear slippers. Okay, flats is sometimes flats is okay depending on the situation. If in class, then yes, I will allow you to wear flats. Okay, but if you are going for interview and you need to present during the interview, then maybe you need to opt for something with 2 inch or 1 inch dia punya apa tu base. Okay, the colors, okay, yes, you have various option for you to wear, ladies, but please make sure the color you tone down a bit lah. You don't wear really bright colors unless uh, you want to appear as someone who is very energetic. For example, like uh, business punya uh, business punya presentation yang apa ni, kursus tu, yang kursus-kursus MLM business tu kan, then you want to appear energetic, then yes, maybe you can wear yellow, red, blue, electric blue. But then if it is for academic, just keep to safe colors, earthy colors. So the men also, you opt for dark colors. Okay, or yeah, for men it's safer to say choose dark colors, but for ladies you can opt for earthy tone colors. Okay, that is for colors lah. So this is another example. You wear apa ni, modern kurung for your presentation, and if you are wearing hijab, then make sure your hijab suits the baju, the attire. Okay, the color. If you already have a printed uh, clothes, then maybe you should opt for a plain scarf. Okay, uh, just make sure it's not something that is really mm, apa ni, uh, bright lah. Sometimes if you wear prints on prints, if the prints is not suitable, then you will divert the attention of the audience to your attire, not to your content. Okay, so that is about attire. So for the assignment, up to you. You just have to match it with the content lah. Okay. Uh, for the content of the presentation, then we have this one: objective, the subject, audience, and the place. Okay, I would like to remind that these slides contain most of the uh, information related to offline face-to-face presentation. But we can always adapt the information for online face-to-face. Okay. So for objective, you need to know your reason, why you need to present, what is your uh, a mission, okay, that you want to accomplish. You want the audience to know about 3 tips to manage our financial, for example. Or your mission is you want them to know 3 tips to stay healthy in university, for example. So you have to know your mission. At the end of the presentation, what you want your audience to have or to get. Okay. So you need to write them down. You need to focus on that so that you only present whatever is necessary and related. Okay. Next is about the subject, which is the topic. Okay, about the topic, you may be given earlier the topic, like what I give you earlier too. Okay, you may receive it earlier. Sometimes you don't receive any topic earlier, but they ask you to choose your own topic. Okay, so you need to decide. So your decision, it should be based on the audience, on the current situation, on the what is important for the audience. Okay, and then sometimes you are called for presentation because you are expert in that area. For example, when you are working later on, okay, maybe you are working in safety and health department or field. Okay, so you are expert in OSHA too. Okay, that safety punya features too. Okay, so you are expert in that. So there is a company who wish to use your expertise, so they call you for a um, sharing session with their staff. Okay, that is also called a presentation, and they call you because you are expert in safety and health. Okay, um, or maybe you are the um, exco for welfare in university. Okay, so you are expert in welfare. There are, for example, you are an MPP lah, MPP in welfare department. Um, so there are some other organization in university who would like to use your expertise, so they call you to explain to them about the welfare. So that is one of the related issues lah with the um, topic or presentation. They call you because you're expert. Okay, now you have to know your audience, which is you have to know the size, age, gender, time, and background knowledge. Okay, age, gender, and background knowledge is quite similar to when you write essay. You need to know the age, the gender, and the background knowledge of the audience, right? Because you want to suit your vocabulary, you want to suit your topic, you want to um, set the tone. Okay, this so that is similar to when you do presentation. The age, gender, and background knowledge, you want to make sure that you present something that is suitable for their age, that is suitable for that can uh, be discussed together by the audience, ladies and gentlemen, because these two genders, uh, maybe they have their own perception, they have their own views. So if the topic is quite sensitive, then maybe you spark fire between them. Okay, so maybe it's not that good lah. So you have to know. And then the background knowledge, because you don't want to present something that is too common that they already know. Okay, the size is very important because you if it is an offline presentation, you want to book a room, a hall. Okay, you want to know how big is the room that you need to accommodate your audience. Do you need a normal class size room, or you need to book a hall? Okay, and if you are not the organizer, if you are only called for the presentation, you need to adjust. Okay, maybe you need to adjust the activities. Okay, instead of having activities for 20 people, then you need to prepare activities and materials for 200 people. So you need to know the size, and you need to when the bigger the size, okay, the easier it will be for the audience to lose focus. Okay, to lose focus. So you need to know lah the size. um if it is for online, then you need to check which online platform able to cater up to 200 or up to 100, 1000. Okay, Zoom, Gmeet, Skype. So you need to know the size so that you can choose the correct platform and how many gateways that you want to create. uh, for example, for Zoom, you can create more than one gateway, right? Okay, to look to have to see to be the audience of certain events. And maybe if you if you uh, have a macam more than 500 people of audience, okay, the target audience, then you need to prepare more than one camera, because more than one camera, more than one ni lah device, because maybe one device only support one platform, okay, so another device support another platform, okay. So you have to consider all those things before you start your doing your presentation. And then the time, let's say you present in the morning, um or afternoon, at night, in the evening, okay. Maybe in the morning their focus um is still high, okay, they are still eager to learn, or still eager to listen to you, still eager to communicate with you. But towards the afternoon session, then maybe they are already hungry, they are already tired, okay. So you need to um, switch your activities inside lah, according to the time slot, okay. For place, okay, you need to be familiar with the place, because you want to set up. Maybe you want to move anything, or you want to place any of your equipments, and you want to set the setting, okay. For offline presentation, maybe you can go to the room first, okay. You can test the projector first. You can check where is the light switches. You can check where is the window, is there any curtains or blinds, is there any outside noises, is the room soundproof or not, okay. So you need to double check, you need to go first, you need to test first in that room, okay. Maybe you can test your device first to the projector in that particular room, okay, to make sure there will be no technical issues later on, okay. And for online also, you have to test, try first, run a trial test for Zoom, Gmeet, okay. And make sure you know where to navigate. If you need to record, then where is the button to record, okay. Do you need to approve people, or do you or the audience can just simply come in? So you need to know first. So be familiar with the place or platform. Next one is consider. This one is the one that I told you just now lah. You need to consider all the size of the room, seating arrangement, equipment, um, the blinds, the correct ambience for your presentation. Okay. Position of light switches, noises from another room, or if your room or hall is near to the streets, or there are some renovation from the next building, okay. So you need to consider. Another one that you need to know is parking facilities. If you are the one who bring all the equipment, okay, you are alone, you need to know where to park, where is the parking facilities, because you might need uh to walk far, okay, with your equipment. So mm, if the parking lot is far from the hall or the room, you may prepare yourself by bringing one assistant, or you can come earlier, okay. And you have to know where to park so that you are not lost, okay. If it is done in a convention hall, okay, so you are the guest speaker, so you need to know, you need to arrive early so that you are not lost in the middle of the convention hall, whatever, okay. So you need to know this thing also. For presentation, okay, for the content of the presentation, you if normally you will need to include some visual aids, okay, the graph, the charts, the pictures, okay. Maybe you want to show videos, maybe you want to show any kinds of visual apart from your slides and the wordings in the slide, okay. So maybe you want to have a separate uh, slide containing only pictures, only charts, only tables, okay, because you want to divert uh, the attention of the audience lah. to make them think. Okay. And then the content slide should be easy to read, not crowded, meaning you don't include all, you don't make it full. The sentences shouldn't be too full inside one slide. Okay. And then if you want to give handouts, then you need to prepare first your handouts. If you do you need to prepare handouts in paper, or is it online handouts? Okay, so you prepare first lah. And then the word choice, the word in the word that you use in the slides, the word that you use for your presentation, okay, should be according to the audience level. Right. So these are some of the examples of visuals, keywords, charts, examples, diagrams, pictures. Okay. And this is the types of charts that you can use later. Okay. Then you use it accordingly. If you don't need to use it, then don't use it. But if you need to use it, then you use it. Line graph, bar chart, flip chart, diagram, pie chart, flow chart, and an organization chart. If you think that you need to present statistics, what type of chart or what type of graph that is more suitable for the audience and that can help the audience to understand better. Okay, make it as simple as you can. mm, that can speed up their understanding. Okay, why you need to use visual? Because you want to focus the audience. You want to get their focus. Instead of just listening to you, you can let them see and think together with you when you show them visuals. Another one is because you want to make them understand easier. So let's say you are presenting about a statistic, about percentage. It's easier for them to understand if you use graph, right? Rather than you just um, use oral. Okay. And then you want to reinforce ideas for presenter. Okay, because maybe when you ask them to think or to give their opinion, okay, you can get something out from that uh, moment, and you can share more. Okay. Change focus from oral to visual. Involve and motivate the audience. Okay, the audience will be more motivated to listen to you if you involve them, if you communicate with them. Okay. uh, mm, and they will give a better focus. Okay, serve a logical proof, meaning yeah, you don't just talk, but you have something to show. And then save time and avoid putting information on board. Okay, this happens if you have face-to-face offline presentation. Okay, you want to present something that is really difficult, okay, really complex, but you don't have any visuals yet. So you plan to just draw during that particular time. So it will actually takes time, okay, and you will turn your back to the audience while you are writing. Okay, so you need to avoid that by preparing earlier. Okay. If you have online presentation, the turning your back will not happen lah. Okay, because you can always write on the Jamboard. Okay, but then also it will take more time. Okay, help the speaker, of course, because you can uh, be reminded by the visuals. Sometimes you have too much to say that you forgot. You need to explain about something. So when you see the visuals, it can help you to remember. Okay. Uh, Text to put on a visual. So you can always put something on the visuals too. Okay, if you don't want to put any sentences, then you can put a watermark of your name, maybe conference or company logo or date title, okay, as watermark. If you need to use sentences, uh, like quotes or phrases, then you are allowed to, but make sure it's not a full sentence lah. Okay, so a picture and few phrases, that is fine, because you want to focus on the visuals, not the sentences. How many visuals can you add or should you add into your slides if you're using slides? Okay, so for 1 every 2 minutes, okay, if you have already timed yourself, okay, 1 every 2 minutes is okay, or you can just simply use the logic of um, if that is necessary. Okay. Maybe you have 10 slides of wordings, sentences, and you feel that, okay, you need to give a break to the audience by adding visuals, then you add visuals. Okay. Uh, these are the some of the phrases that you can use, okay, to switch between slides with sentences to the slides with pictures. Okay, let's look at the name of the slide with the visual. Okay, for example, you're talking about distribution of the market. Maybe it's a business presentation. Okay, so let's look at the current distribution of the market. As you can see from the graph, we have blah 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 blah. Okay, so um, to move between the wordings to visuals, you need to let them know lah. You need to give them uh, the apa ni? The signal that you are changing from wordings to visuals. Okay. My next slide concerns the method to stay healthy in university, because if you just click next without introducing the slides of containing visuals, maybe they won't understand what is this visual about. Okay, so you need to introduce. Okay, my next slide concerns the method by which I use to manage my money in university, for example. Okay, I'm going to show you now the most useful uh, methods uh, to to save while you are in university. Okay, to save money. Maybe you are talking about saving money. Okay, then you can use. Alright. Then we talk about the size, layout, font of the slides. Okay, font, size, and colors of the text site. Okay, size of the wordings, the layout, the design, the font, and then the size of the slide, horizontal or vertical, and the colors of the slide. Okay. Oh, A4. It's not A4. Yeah, it is suitable to the audience. Meaning, um, let's say you have 20 people listening to you. Okay, so it's okay for you to have a small projected screen, because 20 students is not that much audience. They can always come in front, be with you if this one offline presentation. A small projected screen is okay. But if you have 200, so you have up to 10 lines of chairs and tables. So maybe the last line, the last row, won't be able to see your small projected screen. So you need to make it bigger. Okay, so the size should accommodate the audience. If it is online, that then you probably wouldn't have any problem, because you are looking at your own screen. Okay, the only problem that will arise is if the audience use their phone. Okay, so if they use their phone, then maybe before you start your presentation, you need to let them know, you need to tell them that maybe you can tilt your phone. Okay, make it horizontal so that they can see the slides better. Okay, uh, uh, if the other audience are using laptop, then they wouldn't probably have any problem lah, because the laptop screen is big enough for them to see, and they are sitting in front, near to the screen. Okay, but for offline, you need to be really careful. 20 audience and 200 audience should would will use different size of the projector screen. Okay, the screen projected lah. And then the layout of this slide should be pleasant and easy to read. Horizontal is preferable because you can add in more sentence or words, and you can make their size bigger. And then we have fonts. Okay, I'll talk more about fonts after few slides. This one, fonts that are suitable for slides. Okay, slides that you are going to project on the screen or on the wall are something similar to Arial, Calibri, Verdana, Tahoma, or uh, something that is uh, the design that is similar to this for. Okay, why? Because nanti I tell you in later slides. Okay, um, and the font size should be at least 28. Okay, at least 28. This one, the size is 32. Ah, the size that I use just now, right now is 32. Okay, since we are having online, then you won't have any problem because you are looking at your laptop and you are near to the screen. But if you have it offline presentation, then maybe you need to make it a little bit bigger so that when you expand, okay, or if let's say you cannot expand the screen, let's say the projector is fixed at a fixed place and you cannot expand the screen, then the person, the audience who are at the last row can still see it. Okay, that is why you need to test first. Okay, you need to check first the room and test the projector. Okay, you can highlight, use capital letter, boldface, italics, underline, whatever that you want to do to highlight. You are allowed to do as long as the colors are not more than two. Okay. Uh, uh, this one is different with essay writing because essay writing you have a certain rule for capital letter, boldface, italics, right? But for presentation, it's more flexible. Okay, so up to you. If you think that you want to highlight that phrases, then yes, you may boldface it. You may italicize it. Okay, up to you. This one. About the slideshow, you need to make sure the slideshow is consistent, meaning um, if you use okay, if you use size 44 for the title, okay, for the headings, okay, for the headings, then the next slide you should also use 44 for the headings. Consistency in fonts. Okay, and for subheadings also the same. This one I use 28, then the next one also 28. It should be the same unless you wanna emphasize. So maybe you are talking about slides, so you want to emphasize, then you can. But then not every not every wordings macam ni lah. Okay, so only the important one if you want to highlight. Okay, so consistency in the size and in the type of font. Okay, let's say for headings I use Franklin. So another headings in another slide is also Franklin. For subheadings I use Calibri. So for points, for bullet points I use Calibri. All the bullet points I use Calibri. Okay, consistency. And then for colors, for italicize. Okay, if you have sub points like this one, you want to italicize. Make sure the sub points for the next one also you italicize lah, consistent. Okay, but I don't have this one here, then I don't italicize it because you want to differentiate. Okay, or if you want to highlight by underlining and changing the color, red. Okay, red and underline. So all of the other emphasize also you should use red and underline, not like this one. Okay, this one red and then green and then um gold. So the audience will be confused lah. Why are they different? Maybe they have different role or whatever. So it will confuse your audience. So if you, that is why we say that you need to stick to only two colors, okay, and be consistent. uh, okay, this one is about text and background. Like the one that I use just right now is black on white. Consider black on white lah, meaning dark on light. Okay, black on apa, light gray. Okay, um, you can also use gray, light gray on black. Okay, so up to you, dark on light or light on dark. But then you have to look at the situation whether it allows you to use it or not. Meaning sometimes, okay, if you use projector screen, okay, so if the projector screen if the projector, the screen and the cable are new, are fine, then the color of it will always be white. But if you have problem with the cable, then maybe the screen will turn yellow. So when they turn yellow, okay, the condition is already called as less than ideal. It's not ideal. It's not ideal condition. Okay. Uh, if if the screen is white, the light is white, then it is ideal condition. So for non-ideal condition, you should always use white background. Okay, the slides, white background and black or black image, okay, meaning dark on light, okay, because you want to overcome the visibility problems, okay, because black on whatever color point will always be okay, okay. White on yellow ke black on yellow screen, black on green screen, the audience can still see, okay. But imagine you use gray color, gray colored words, and then the screen suddenly turn yellow, okay, then the audience won't be able to see, okay. So less than ideal condition, uh, always use white background and black or gray images, okay. um, Safe to say that you can always opt for white, black on white. Safe to say you can always opt for black on white, because you if you are not very sure about the platform or about the room that you are going to use, then you are always ready. Sometimes at first we say that they ask you to present online, then you already prepare your slide colorful, with dark background and colorful text, and then suddenly they ask you to present offline. Then you have only so little time to change, and maybe during the time you edit, okay, you miss out something, okay, so it will take more time of yours, okay. So it's better if you just stick or choose to have black on white, okay, it's better. um Next one is about, okay, the situation of less than ideal, meaning the non-ideal situation is if you have face-to-face offline presentation, you don't have any screen, the white screen, you don't have it, you only have walls, okay, and the wall is not in white color, maybe yellow, maybe green, maybe whatever other color, okay, and the wall has textured surface, okay, the wall is not smooth, and the screen has other light showing on it, meaning you have um, apa nama, sunlight coming out from the window, uh, or you have lights from the room that you need to switch on during the presentation, okay. So that one is also not an ideal condition. And then maybe the screen is gray or the screen is green, just now like I said too. So these are the example of non-ideal condition. Ideal condition is when you have large screen, wide screen, no extra light source shine on the screen, and projector is sufficient distance from the screen. The 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 example that I can always give you is if you went for a movie, okay, in the cinema, okay, the the cinema is in total darkness, right? uh, that is why you can see all sorts of colors from the movie, okay, uh, because you are in total darkness and the only light that is showing is from the projector, and the projector distance from the screen is very far away, that it is projected to be very large. Okay, that is an ideal condition. So if, let's say, for your offline presentation, you can make the room a total darkness, then you can opt for any colors for your slides. But if you cannot, then you have to stick to just now yang black on white. Okay, for the cinema too, okay, during the movie time, okay, you see the movie, you see the screen very clear kan, but after the movie ends kan, they switch on the lights and the color from the screen started to fade, right? So that is one good example lah for ideal and non-ideal condition. So ideal condition when the cinema is in total darkness. For non-ideal condition is when they switch on the lights that people need to go out and see the upper stairs though. Okay, so ideal and non-ideal condition. mm. Okay, this is example. Less than ideal condition, dark on black and white. uh, Ideal condition, if you are in the cinema, you can always use this one, uh, white on black. Okay, for screen, for online presentation, like I said, uh, it's okay for you to choose any color, as long as you remind the audience to change the brightness level of the screen to an optimum one. Okay, because if it is not optimum point, they won't be able to see clearly. So if you have online presentation, make sure you tell them to have a optimum brightness level lah for the screen. Okay. Um, okay. About contrast colors of the text and background. Okay. Just now I told you black on white, right? Okay. So black we have dark colors. Okay. Other than black, we have blue black. We have apa ni? Brown. We have dark red, dark purple. Okay. We have all sorts of dark colors. Okay. So, to make it contrast with the background, make sure it is from different family of colors. Different family of colors you can always um, see from here. Mm, okay, if you don't need to really remember the family of colors, you can always look at the PowerPoint slides too and theme of colors too. Okay, this is the family of red. This is family of blue. So if you wanna have font color, the blue, dark blue font color for the text, the background shouldn't also be blue because the contrast is not maximized. Okay, maybe you can choose other light colors like gray or white. Okay, so different family of color will increase the contrast, the contrast between the background and the text lah. Wait, okay, like this one. So you have blue, um, blue background. Okay, so this one is blue, dark blue words. Apa ni? Font. Okay. So instead of blue, maybe you can use black because this one is more contrasting compared to if you use just now yang mana tadi? Okay. This one is black. The text font color is black. The is from a different is dark blue. Okay, you can see the contrast is different. So which one appears better? Of course, the one that don't belongs to the same family lah. Okay, so you need to also play with colors lah before you set Your slides, so you need to uh check first one by one ke. Okay, you try and error first ke. Okay, which one is better? Um, okay. Balance the text and image. Balance the text and image. Center, left align or right align is like this. Okay, like this and this one. Left align bullets. The bullets or the points should always be left aligned so that it's easier for the audience to read. Okay. If you imagine you have 60, imagine I have 66 slides and I choose to have the bullet to be centered, then you will be confused. Okay. Your focus will be lesser than now. Okay. So the bullet should always be left aligned, but the title can be centered aligned. Uh, um, and then if you have picture, okay, one picture in the middle will result in you having less space to add sentences or add captions. So if you have a lot to say, then make it like this one lah, side by side. But if you only have one sentence or one phrase to put together with the picture, then it's okay for you to use this type. So balanced design. Okay, this is about the fonts. Just now I told you yang for slides is more it's better for you to use Arial Calibri kan. Okay, because you have two style. Yang the one yang you have kaki ni, okay, yang ada extra ni, and then the one that you don't have. Okay, if for slides, if you choose to use this type yang ada kaki ni, yang ada extras ni, and you need to have offline face-to-face presentation, you need to present and project on the screen. Okay, this thing, these extras ni will make the letters appear closer and together. So it's harder for the audience to read. Uh, because dia kembang kan, dia expand. So yang kaki-kaki ni pun akan expand. Okay. So if you have to project, that is why we ask you to use slides using the types of apa font yang tak ada kaki. Okay. So you need to tengok lah first. Okay. You need to see first. Make it bigger first. Okay. And then you choose. For slides, please do not choose yang ada kaki ni. Dia ada nama. Yang kaki and tak ada kaki tu ada nama dia. After this, I show you. Okay. So for slides, choose something that is clean. Don't have extra. But for title, for subhead, for headings, itu is okay, because only few wordings kan, only maybe one word, so it's okay. But for bullets points tu, you should use something yang clean. Okay. Um, alright. The name is serif and sans serif. Okay. Serif yang ada kaki tadi, macam Times New Roman, Courier, dia ada extra tu. So serif fonts are not suitable for slides. Sans serif yang tak ada kaki, Arial, Tahoma, that one is suitable for slides, because let's say if you need to project on screen, you are already safe lah. You don't need to edit, because no matter how they expand pun, the letters will not appear closer to each other. Okay. Okay, this one. So the Times New Roman, the Times New Roman to serif. Okay. It is okay for you to use it on paper. That is why for writing essay, okay for you to use Times New Roman, because it is small and it is on paper. Okay, on paper meaning kita boleh tengok one by one, dekat-dekat. Okay, so it's okay. But for slideshow, because it's far away from the audience, okay, if it is bigger, then the wordings will appear together. It's harder to read. Okay, sans serif are cleaner, clean. Okay, the clean one and the kaki better for slides. So if you want to be safe, you don't want to think about it, just choose sans serif lah. for whatever occasions, whatever slides or essay that you want to write. So if you don't want to think about it, then just use sans serif, because sans serif is suitable for everything lah. Kecil ke besar, sans serif is okay, it's fine. Okay. If you want to appear fancy, for the title, okay, then you can use yang sans serif, yang serif tu, yang Times New Roman. Titles is okay because title headings tu, the wording and the letters are lesser. Okay, this one. Okay. Mm. Okay, font size, make sure it's big enough lah. You need to test first. You need to try and error first. How big is big for your own audience. Okay. But for normal situation, 36 to 54 for title is big enough. Okay. For title, 36 is big enough. It's already big. But if you want to make it bigger, then up to 54. So it's okay. Okay. For text, 28 to 48. So you need to match it lah. If the title is 36, then maybe the text is 28. Janganlah title 36, but the text is 48. Okay, make sure the title is always bigger than the text. Okay. The range yang I gave you just now are flexible enough to apply to most presentation situation. Just make sure that later on, if you have face-to-face offline, you know what is the distance, okay, between the screen and the projector. And then the lighting condition, background color, and then the font style, because all those will be together to affect the audience attention and readability. Okay. That is about your slides. So now we are going to about what can you say, or what are you going to say? Okay, your oral part lah. So in the beginning, you need to signal to the audience that you are going to start. You need to build rapport. Okay, so maybe at first you can break the ice with the audience first. Okay, you ask one of them or two of them, and then make some small communication, and then you can start by saying, okay, let's begin. So shall we start? Okay, you use the phrases that will signal to the audience that you are actually going to start the presentation. Okay, and then you need to greet. Greetings, we have a lot of phrases for greeting. These are just some of them. But then you need to match it with the presentation lah. If you are presenting to for a debate, for a competition, then maybe yes, you are going to use members of the jury or as the timekeeper. Okay, if that is for competition. For board meeting, then maybe you can say members of the board, members of the committee, members of the meeting, or chairman or chairwoman, or if you are introduced, if you are a solo speaker and you are introduced by the MC, then you can say thank you, Mr. Hafiz, for introducing me, or for the kind introduction. Okay, so you greet by using these phrases and all other phrases that you can find. Okay, fellow colleagues and fellow friends are two different things. Colleagues are for workmates, meaning you are in already working environment. But if you are with your friends in school or in university, then you can just use fellow friends, okay, or classmates. Because colleagues is specifically for work people, okay, colleagues. Alright, and then you introduce yourself. What is your name? What is your position? Where do you come from? Because when you present something, you need to create trust. Okay, you need to show them that you have the expertise, you are eligible to talk in front of them, and they need to listen to you because you have the experience, you have the information, you are superior than them. Okay, so you need to let them know. So you introduce yourself like, okay, this one. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce myself. My name is blah blah blah. I am student from blah blah blah. Currently studying doctorate. Currently studying PhD. Or currently studying masters. Currently studying diploma. Okay. Or if you have any other position, I am the exco for blah 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 education and welfare. Or I am the manager of cafe, coffee cafe. Okay, so what is your position? Uh, you need to let them know what is your position because you want to make them listen to you and agree with you. Okay, and then if you have experience, you can tell them, I have 5 years experience in this particular field. Okay, so you want, because you are creating trust, kind. So you need to let them know you will have the capability mm, to deliver, and whatever that you deliver is correct, is true. So you tell them that you have experience, you have learned, you have done research. Okay, that is how you introduce lah. And then that one is introducing yourself, and then you need to introduce the subject. What is the title of the presentation? What is the topic that you plan to speak about? Today I'm going to speak. I plan to talk with you. No, I plan to share with you some information about how we can be healthy. How can we stay healthy in university? Uh, because we need to survive in university, so we need to be healthy. For example, macam tu lah. So I plan to speak about, I'm going to talk about the theme of my talk today. Okay, you introduce the subject and you get the audience attention. So you create you spark interest. So how to spark interest? You can ask them a question. Maybe you can say, have you ever heard of your friends, or have you ever mm, experienced having no money in your pocket, but then you need to fill in your stomach, or you need to eat, but then you don't have any money? So why is that happening? Have you experienced that? So you boleh ask them. You can ask them. You can create spark, create interest. Okay, let them think. Oh, yeah, I also experienced this last time because I don't manage my financial well. I do a lot of online shopping. So you can create interest with the audience. So you talk about something that is familiar to them. Okay. Okay. And then okay, if you are showing them visual, okay, let's say graph ke, pictures ke, you can say like this. As you can see, as you notice, we have this picture of two best friends eating from the same bowl in the cafe. What are they sharing? So from there you can simplify lah, and then you can explain what is the visuals about. Because okay, you can let them think about the visual, but you also need to later explain what is it about. Okay. Um, let's say you already explain in detail about your tips, okay, to manage your financial. You also need to summarize it so that they will get the point. Sometimes maybe they are lost focus in the middle. Maybe they couldn't really grasp the information. So yes, you give them in-depth explanation, but also you give them summary. Okay, how long to present? For your outside presentation outside too, it depends on the organizer lah. Okay. But for my assignment is 20 minutes only. Okay. 20 minutes maximum. Okay. But it's not for each group is 30 minutes for the technical whatnot too. But presentation please only 20 minutes. Okay. I don't want to listen to too much information because it will end up that you just repeat the information or you explain something that is not necessary. Okay, so just keep it short, sweet, but full of information. Meaning you really carefully jot down, note down, okay, whatever you want to say. Okay, so and you organize. Okay, so 20 minutes for each group. Um, Okay, for your presentation outside, if you need to present, why you need to know how long that you can present is because you want to adjust your content. Okay, let's say you have marketing presentation or marketing sharing session. So you are given 3 hour time slot. Wow, 3 hour time slot. So what will you do in that 3 hour? Activities, talking, communicate, Q&A. So you need to adjust your content and then adjust the session. 3 hour, 1 hour, and then break, and then come back, or 2 hour, and then you go back. Okay, so you adjust the content, you adjust the session, and then cater to audience concentration. Um, Maybe for public, if you are talking to public, that they don't really have a strong reason for listening to you, okay, you need to adjust their concentration. Maybe in between slides, you can add some humor, add some jokes, add some activities, okay, because you want to make sure that they listen to you all the throughout the session. Alright, so this is what you need to do for your presentation. You need to organize and you need to present it with confidence. Okay, so organize as usual. Macam like you write your essay, you need to have intro, main point, closure. Okay, so you organize like that, and then don't forget the recommendation in the conclusion part. Okay, you recommend. For example, you have presented about top apa ni? Tips to manage your financial. So your recommendation is maybe you can say, okay, you guys can try our tips, or you can find other tips that suits your situation. But make sure you manage your financial. So you recommend what they need to do. Okay. And then practice with your friends, practice using the video, you video record yourself, you prepare your scripts, and then you practice with your scripts. Okay. But during the presentation day, you don't look at your script lah. Okay. You never ever look at your script when you are presenting, because you are not presenting, you are reading. Okay. How long should a presentation be? It should always go back to the organizer and the reason you apa ni? Reason you present. Okay. But you also need to know if there are any other speakers after you or before you. Okay. If there are speakers before you, you need to expect some delay or expect that they finish earlier. So you need to be ready. If you have speaker after you, then you need to make sure you are ready to end in time. Okay, and then beware of overrunning. Other speakers might be following you because yes, you have 20 minutes time slot, but you drag it until 1 hour. So the other speakers' time has already been taken. So they also need to present. So they will also track time. Okay, so beware lah. Um, okay, for public presentation, okay, especially for presentation that the people is not really having a solid reason to listen, 45 minutes is always a maximum. Okay, because to listen to lecture or to listen to opinion, to listen to debate, to listen to whatever type of presentation, you need a very solid reason to stay. Okay. So if it is for public, then maybe 45 minutes is the maximum time lah before you can stop and then do some activities and then come back again. Right? This is how to organize your presentation. Just as usual, the intro, main content, conclusion. Just like what you did for your essay, you have your mind map tu kan. So you prepare your mind map first. What content that you want, and then you start to explain, elaborate, expand the mind map, and then you start to do your slides lah. So you just organize it as intro, body, and conclusion, just like what you have in essay. In introduction, normally you tell them the subject, you tell them the table of contents, sort of summary of content, okay? And then start to go to the first point, second point, third point, and then for conclusion, you summarize all the points and you recommend, okay? This one you can always read it by yourself later on. But in intro, normally you can preview, you can ask questions to audience to get their attention, and then you need to let them know whether you wish to accept question as they arise during presentation, or whether the question should be asked at the end of the presentation. So you need to clarify first at which time you want to accept question. Okay. For the content, you need to have supporting details, justification, explanation, and then arrange according to the sequence. You already learned the time sequence, the empathic sequence kan. So you follow which one lah yang suitable, least important first ke, most important first ke, and then the conclusion. Repeat again the main points, and then you need to end decisively. Make sure you let them know that you already ended your presentation, that you are not going to share anymore. Okay, and then you can start asking if they have any more questions to ask. Okay, the expectation that you need to cater to is the feedback, the response, whether they agree with you, disagree with you, do they have questions, are their questions related or not, and then what are the concentration. Okay, these are the expectation lah. Their response, their question, and their concentration. Okay, whether it is up to your par or it is lower, then you need to be ready. Okay. So these are the reasons of you presenting. Most of the reasons are inform, to teach, to entertain, to motivate, to stimulate, to persuade. Each reason have different ways lah. Okay, because sometimes if you just want to inform, okay, let's say it's like an announcement kan. The speaker won't be too attentive to the feedback. Okay, because they just want to inform. It's up to the audience lah nak dengar ke tak. Okay. But if you need to persuade, okay, so as a speaker, you need to make sure that the audience accept, because you are persuading them kan, like you are persuading your mother or father to give you money. So make sure, you want to make sure that at the end you receive the money. So you're persuading. But if you just want to inform your father and mother, Ma, I want some money, in the intention of informing, then you don't really care whether you get or not the money. Okay, it's different, informing and persuading. So teaching also, you have to make sure that they understand by later on you look at the activities, whether they can answer your questions or they can give correct answers, okay, or they can give extra creative answers. So if your presentation is to teach your friends or your audience, for example, you are teaching them on how to cook nasi lemak or how to fry cikodo. So at the end, okay, of the activities, you need to make sure that they know how to fry cikodo or how to masak nasi lemak. Okay, because you want to teach. So the result is from the activities. If you need to entertain, then you need to add in more humor. Maybe you want to see them laugh or smile. And then to motivate, maybe you want to see them at first coming to your presentation with a negative aura, but then going out from your presentation with a positive vibe. So you need to add in more motivational stories, inspirational stories, examples to make them more motivated. Stimulate also quite the same. Okay, so you need to know now what is your sole reason for you to present later on. Okay, right. In a group presentation, first presenter will always need to introduce your group members. Okay, and then you set the aim, the purpose. Okay, usually the first person will take the intro part. Okay, so you introduce yourself, your group members, you introduce your content, you set the tone, you set the ambience, you set the weather of the presentation, and then you let the second person take over. Okay. You also need to tell the audience how the group would prefer to deal with questions during or at the end. Okay, and for other presenters, of course, you need to look clean, you look smart, use appropriate language, speak clearly, and then be confident and never apologize for lack of experience in making presentation, because all of us are still learning in presenting. Um, so you must not say like, I'm sorry that my presentation is bad because I'm lacking of I'm lacking of experience. You should never say that. You can apologize for technical issues. Okay. I'm sorry for the technical issues that happens. Okay, but never apologize for lacking of experience. Okay. Alright, and then all of the presenters should have eye contact, should smile and look pleasant, should stand straight if you are standing. If you are sitting, then you sit comfortably, suitable to the events. If you are giving a religious punya apa ni, ceramah, then maybe you sit kan with the table in front of you, then sit comfortably lah. If you are having online presentation, then sit appropriately lah. Maybe you sit to show that you are in charge of the presentation. Okay, and then avoid presenting unnecessary detail. Do not distract the audience from any other gestures, macam you play with your pen ke, you play with your hair, whatever. Don't distract the audience lah. And then if let's say other members, there is one of your group members presenting, so the other members should not interrupt, should not talk, okay, should not create noise. Okay, should not interrupt, as in maybe your friend lost their words. Okay, they don't know what to say, they are blank, so you intend to help, so you interrupt their session. Actually, it's not that good lah. It's because it's like you are embarrassing them. Okay, it's like you are telling the audience that your friend doesn't have the authority for the session. Okay, so don't do that. If you want to help your friend who lost for words, maybe you can PM, okay, if it is online, or you can give them a small note if it is offline. So you pass to them and then you let them know. Oh, you make them remember again. Oh, they need to explain what this is. But never ever take over their session. Okay. Mm. And then of course you have nervousness. Okay. Just prepare and prepare meaning prepare your slides, prepare your image, practice, practice video by having video practicing practice with your friends practice in front of the mirror so practice using the same script. Okay. The same script, so meaning you already have your points kan on what to say. So practice, practice, practice. So in the apa nama real presentation, your unconscious mind will help you to run the presentation smoothly. And then take a deep breath. Be in control, meaning okay, you already prepared the technical part, you already prepared the slides, you already take control of your image, attire, and all too. So you are less nervous lah because you already prepared and be in control. Okay, be confident. Always try to be confident. We can always fake it first. Okay, fake your confidence first because it will come later. I will answer your question after this. Okay, for audience, please stay attentive. If you are the audience, just make sure you show you show your focus. You give them your attention. You respect them. Okay, do not make small noise or small talk. You ask with politeness and relevance. Make sure whatever you ask is related to the topic that they are presenting. And to presenter, of course, you need to be confident, attend to the audience. Okay, attend to the audience meaning you answer them lah politely and be prepared. So I wish you all good luck for your presentation later on. So for the question just now, Q&A session, listener ask difficult question that you can answer. Okay. There is a way that you can avoid from answering questions during presentation. First, you can say, you praise them first. Thank you for a very brilliant questions. But I think that will lead to a more serious and prolonged discussion that maybe I can give you answer later after we end the presentation. Okay, or if you really don't know, okay, you don't say you don't know lah. You can say that, oh, for that type of question, I need to discuss with my group members first and get back to you later. Or you can say, you need to do some research first, further research first, and we'll come back to the questionnaire later. But you need to come back lah to them and tell them. So after some time, after you do your research, if you really cannot answer, then you frankly speak to them. You have done research, you have discussed, but you still couldn't give any answer, any exact answer. Then they might be satisfied lah because you have given the leeway. You show them that you have effort to answer their question, but then at the end they cannot. Macam tu. If you cannot answer, don't say that you don't know. You can say that you need to discuss first, you need to research first, and then you'll come back to the question. Okay? Any other questions to ask? Because I have finished my slides. Just make sure for the slides, for the presentation, you prepare this one. This one. You prepare your 3W. Okay, what to wear, what to expect, your content and all, and your reason for presenting. Okay. So, any questions that you want to ask me for your presentation ke, for your essay ke? I benci betul lah tu bunyi. Okay. If you've got no question, just make sure you submit your essay in individual activities. You submit your assessment tab in author for week 10 and 11. Make sure you double check. I tak nak tengok ada yang kosong. Okay. Upload. Because that is your essay punya your essay punya frame kan, my map, synthesis and your essay. So you actually are doing it, but then you upload it. So please make sure you upload. If I'm not mistaken, okay. These are the names yang I last check with you tak ada dekat assessment punya tab tu. Aina, Hisham Zainal, Hazman, Syahadan, Syamil Iqmal, Aubrey, Aifa, Melissa, Irdina, Alif Hakim, Aiman Shamro, Amar, Saisara, Wan Rizlin, Hafiz Azizi, Haris Yusof, Nazmi Tohid, Syahadan dah sebut, Syahmi Haizan, Syamil Iqmal dah sebut, Balkis. So there's a lot of you yang haven't upload in the assessment tab, especially for the transition sentences. You already did your essay, so you just upload je lah in the assessment tab. Apa masalahnya? Okay. Make sure you have transition words and phrases kat situ. Okay. Double check. If you don't upload, then I will cut down 25% of your total essay mark. Okay, so you double check your assessment in author. Okay, please double check. And essay writing submit before this week ends because you need to already focus on your presentation next week. Okay, so all I know is next week I'm going to have 4 students dekat sini. Hafif. So I'm going to have 4 groups, which is group 1, Zamil, group 2, Camelia, group 3, Zairine, group 4, Shakira, for this presentation next week. I'm going to have you 4 in week 13 and another 4 in week 14. For others who are not presenting, please come in to give support to your friends. Okay, so you can listen to my comments or you can see how they handle their own presentation online, real time. Okay, so if you have no other problem or questions, then yeah, we can end the session. So I'll see you next week.